All right, so I'm gonna call this part two on my front bench seat reupholster, restore, however you want to call it. If you remember the first video, three of the springs were missing over in this area, and you can see how it kind of dips up. And I replaced those three springs. Those new springs are pushing it up. I am thinking that won't be a problem when I stretch the vinyl over it. It's going to pull everything down where it needs to be. Then from sitting on it, those springs are going to wear in. So what I ended up doing, had to go online, do a little research, ended up finding a roll of this zigzag spring for doing furniture. Got it off Amazon. I think it was 25 bucks for, I want to say there's 10 feet of it here. I used 3 pieces. That into like C shapes. I don't know if you can see them in there. I got like 3 C-shaped pieces. I slid them into the original perches here. Bent it around. I got hog rings there in a zip tie. Hog ring and a zip tie, hog ring and a zip tie. Same thing over here, hog ring, zip ties, just to secure it because you don't want it popping off after it's upholstered. You don't want that stuff letting loose and poking through the vinyl and the foam. This here was broke, so I pulled it, I stretched it long and bent another curve in it and tucked that in there. You can see it there, how it's short. Over there it's longer. So this here actually is pulled forward and then I bent a little angle, but then it in turn draws this edge back. So I'm going to take some felt and pack that out straight, and that should work out fine where you won't see that with the vinyl on. Next thing I did, I cleaned it up, scuffed it, painted it. I put these zip ties around it. I got zip ties around it all throughout that tie all the springs together. They're not real tight, but it's enough. See, I'm not really pulling them together now, but it kind of supports the weight when you push down. So yeah, all throughout there's zip ties, kind of linking it together, linking all the springs together, just for more support. Lastly, what I did, I grabbed every can of rattle can black paint I had in my paint locker and used it to paint it. So I have everything. I have a combination of gloss black, satin black, and flat black. But the metal's covered, and yeah, nobody will ever know because it has it's gonna have upholstery over it. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I mean, if you remember the last video, I disassembled it and found out what was wrong with it. Had three missing springs here. These 3 of these missing springs. Had to figure out. Had to go online, do some research, figure out this stuff was available, get this stuff, figure out how to make it work. But we're ready to cover that now. And like I said, you can see through here how it's wonky. That will pull down straight fairly easily when I stretch the upholstery over it, the vinyl. But yeah, that's it. That's part 2. I'm trying to think if I missed anything with that. Like I said, it took some time figuring out a plan, doing research, realizing I can get a roll of that spring off Amazon. 10-foot roll, 25 bucks. That's fairly reasonable. And it's a matter of, making it work. A spring, you just got to anchor both ends. If I had to, I could run that zigzag spring from this front edge to the back. If you had to zigzag spring this whole frame, you could. The only other option is maybe hunting down a used seat, have another dart, stealing springs off that seat frame and adding them to this. That would have been my other option. I didn't really get into all that. That's one of those things where you see them on eBay, you see them on a forum, and you just buy them, and then you gotta have it shipped or go pick it up. But yeah, see, when you look on this, it'll go down. There's some support there for the driver that wasn't there before. I think it's going to work out fine. And these springs eventually, they're going to settle in. It's pushing up right now, but it'll level out. I'm anticipating the vinyl's going to level that out. Because you don't want it, or I don't want it to look too obvious. Too obviously wonky when it's in the car. But that spot there will be right under the steering wheel. I mean, I don't know. Looking at it, getting in the car, you'll probably never even see that. But I don't anticipate that being too high. That's pretty much it. Gonna see if I can get around the other side. We'll take a look at it from the other side. Okay, this is the back side. Let me see. So I do have some support there. I think it's gonna be fine. Driver's side's gonna be what it's gonna be, but I just realized I could probably add a couple more hog rings. I probably will. Just to curtail that popping. I just fixed it. Okay. All right. Like I said, it's a little high there because there's 3 new springs. Fairly obvious. I'm figuring the vinyl's going to level that out. If it doesn't, I will adjust. I'm going to have to pop them springs out and make them shorter. If that's what it takes, that's fine. But yeah, this is how it turned out, and it's ready to get covered. Like I said, there's many things that could have been done here. I could have got another seat and stole some springs from it. Probably what I should have done, but that would have took longer and cost more. I think this is going to work out fine. This is the pivots here for the 2. The 50-50 split bench, the seats pivot here. When I assemble it, I'll probably put some kind of silicone grease on there or something. Maybe anti-seize, but probably not. Anti-seize is a bit of overkill for this. But yeah, that's it. I think we're ready to go. Covering this up, this bench part. Then we got to do the backs. This part here took a while. Off and on. But took it outside, wire wheeled the rust off it on sawhorses in the backyard. But yeah, it's getting there. Till next time.